The United States fertility rate has dropped to 1.64, a record low. Yet the companies supplying the nursery are reporting record-breaking profits. Despite a shrinking pool of new customers, Wall Street is extracting more value from the baby industry than ever before. For decades, giants like Procter & Gamble and Kimberly-Clark relied on predictable volume growth. More babies meant more sales. Today, that volume is no longer a given, forcing a total reconfiguration of the industry's financial goals. The collapse of legacy retailers like Buy Buy Baby illustrates the danger of this transition. Between 2004 and 2023, parent company Bed Bath & Beyond spent $11.8 billion on share buybacks, more than double the debt they held at the time of their bankruptcy filing. They prioritized their stock price over the liquidity needed to survive a changing market. Surviving corporations have pivoted to a strategy known as demographic arbitrage. This chart shows the shift. To offset the decline in birth rates, companies are focusing on extracting maximum value from a smaller pool of affluent parents. It is a shift from mass market volume to high-margin premiumization. The financial pressure on parents now follows a strict timeline, with specific investment traps set at every stage of a child's development. In this new market, an infant is viewed as a high-yield, monetizable asset, and the extraction begins before birth. Because more families are starting later in life, the demand for fertility treatments is at an all-time high. This has turned the lab into one of the most aggressive consolidation frontiers in healthcare. Private equity firms have moved into the space with massive scale. In 2023, over 50% of all IVF cycles in the U.S. were performed at clinics affiliated with private equity, an eightfold increase since 2013. Investors use a buy-and-build model, acquiring fragmented local practices and rolling them into massive corporate platforms. This allows firms to exit at the high multiples typical of large-scale healthcare enterprises. Professional medical fees at fertility clinics jump 78.1% following private equity acquisition. These platforms also push high-margin ancillary services. Patients are 10% more likely to pay for genetic testing, adding thousands of dollars to a single cycle. The creation of life is being managed by a business model designed to maximize corporate billing during a patient's highest point of emotional vulnerability. Once the baby is home, the extraction moves to the nursery, where major manufacturers are systematically abandoning the low-margin segments of the market. Kimberly-Clark recently exited the North American private label diaper business to preserve their margins. By removing these budget-friendly store brands, they force consumers toward higher-priced premium options like Huggies. This same shift is happening in baby tech. Basic audio monitors are being phased out in favor of smart monitors and AI-enabled wearables. Outlet has moved from selling simple hardware to building a data-driven ecosystem. They have positioned themselves as a platform that provides real-time health insights through infant biometric data. This strategy has been successful. Their Outlet 360 service reached 110,000 paying subscribers in 2025, turning a one-time product sale into a recurring revenue stream with a 50.6% gross margin. The nursery is being re-engineered to exclude low-margin budget options, replacing them with devices that lock parents into continuous subscription payments. Private equity has moved into pediatric primary care. Investors are attracted by the recession-proof nature of childhood illnesses and the consistent flow of patient visits. Firms like Summit Partners and Webster Equity Partners are consolidating fragmented pediatric practices. They are betting that scale will allow them to capture higher margins as healthcare shifts toward value-based care models. However, there is one sector of the baby economy Wall Street avoids: early childhood care. Childcare providers operate within an iron triangle of full enrollment, fee collection, and high per-child expenses. Because labor accounts for up to 70% of revenue and staff-to-child ratios are strictly regulated, childcare is impossible to scale or automate. With profit margins below 1%, it is viewed as a graveyard for private investment. Investors are aggressively extracting value from scalable medical and tech models, while the actual, unscalable labor of daily childcare remains a financial burden for families. The baby bust is resulting in the total splintering of the consumer market. Major corporations are prioritizing growth in the premium segment, where they can offset declining volumes with higher prices. Premium baby gift sets, for example, are growing at 8.3%, nearly triple the rate of economy options. This shift is visible in the explosion of luxury baby boutiques. These brands are succeeding by targeting the top tier of the market, where affluent parents are willing to pay for safety certifications, organic materials, and social standing. Parenting is being reshaped as a luxury service. Corporations have realized that the real growth isn't in serving all babies, but in extracting the highest possible value from the babies of the wealthy. The demographic decline hasn't slowed the industry. It has turned the path to adulthood into a series of high-priced financial checkpoints. Like the video if you enjoyed this deep dive, and tell us in the comments which industry we should look into next. Be sure to subscribe to the Viral Scope for more research into the global economy.